Hi, good afternoon, and my name is Ronnie Jacobs. I'm the founder of Cancel Cancer Africa. And today I want to tell you about why I founded Cancel Cancer Africa. What was my intentions? What was the aim behind Cancel Cancer Africa? My father died of prostate cancer. And the saddest part about the whole thing was that he knew he had prostate cancer. He knew for so long that he had prostate cancer, but he never told anybody. That's the biggest challenge. He didn't say nothing. I was with him for 14 weeks at intensive care, and he didn't say nothing to me. I took him home on the last week and he died. And it was while we were going through some documentation that I saw information that he had prostate cancer for over 5-6 years. We could have easily treated it, but he didn't say nothing. This is a very common thing with men and women who live in Africa. Because of our customs and because of our beliefs, we don't want to come out and talk about when we have an infection. When a woman has breast cancer, they don't want to come and talk about it because their husband will either say they're a witch or kick them out of the house, or for some odd reasons or the other, they just get cut off from society. So people prefer to just keep their pain and keep their diseases to themselves and not speak up about it, because that way they continue to pretend that everything is fine. And then you hear, oh, that person died, and oh, they died of cancer. And then you wonder, why didn't they speak up? Another big challenge is when they do have the symptoms of cancer, they don't know what the symptoms are. And when it gets past a stage whereby it can be treated, they can't be treated because they can't afford the treatment. The little I can do that will make a big difference is to let them know on time. So listen, when you understand the symptoms of breast cancer, cervical cancer, or prostate cancer, when you understand the symptoms, you can quickly go to the hospital and get help. But once those symptoms develop and it gets too serious, there is nothing you could do about it. And that's the biggest challenge that we have. There are so many complications that you have to put into picture. To really understand what the complications are, you really need to know that, listen, Africa needs help. And we all cannot just sit back and do nothing. We all cannot just sit back and say, oh, I'll leave that to the next person. And I'll leave it to the next person. No, every little that we do makes a big difference. Every little that we do, every single thing that everybody does, every little thing that you do to help makes a big difference. We take so much for granted, we that live in developed countries. We don't know how blessed and how privileged that we are. We take it for granted. We take it for granted that, I can afford paracetamol. If I've got a headache, I can just walk across the road and get my headache tablets and even just open my cupboard and I'm fine. There are communities in Africa or developing countries that they have to walk miles to go and get paracetamol. And even when they get there, they're not on the shelf. So let me come back to why I founded Cancel Cancer Africa. Number one, for people to understand the early signs and symptoms of the common cancer in Africa: cervical cancer, prostate cancer, and breast cancer. Number two, when they have and when they see these symptoms, they can come to our center or go to a hospital and get a definite diagnosis. I explain this better. Some people just see some symptoms, some rash, some bleeding, some early symptoms, and they go to a local chemist or a local corner man, and the guy just says, oh, you've got cancer, and chap, they get a knife and they cut them into bits, and then they die. Or they stick leaves into them, or they give them drugs and that's not even meant for that. It could just be a lump. It could just be nothing. It could just be a little fatty tissue gathering together, but it just kind of get them all excited, get them filled with fear, and then they just, mutilate them. That's the word I want to use, mutilate. It is very sad. It's sad, but there is hope. Now, we are committed to what we are doing. We are committed to going through house by house, door by door, family by family in the community that we work. So every time that we put an event together, We're putting these events together because we want to help make a difference. We are a small charity. We're not as big as other charities, which is fantastic, and I appreciate everyone for what they do. But every penny we try to raise and every fund that we try to raise goes into what we do. In March, we set up our mind. In March last year, we decided that, listen, we're going to have a center. We're going to build a center that provides care, early testing for the local people in our community. Can you imagine if somebody notices a symptom in their body and they walk into our center and we're able to give them an ultrasound, we're able to give them a biopsy, we're able to put them on a mammogram and say, listen, identify exactly what is wrong with that person. If we're able to nip it in the bud early, if we're able to identify what it is early, they have a much better chance of raising money to treat themselves. Because when it gets past stage one, even late stages of stage one, when it gets to late stages of stage one and stage two, there's no hope unless you actually have a family who's got multi-millions. You're talking about people who can hardly afford to eat 2 square meals in a day. And you're telling them to go and bring out $10 to buy something. They can't afford it. Who are they going to go to give them that kind of money to be able to do that? They just cannot afford it. I believe there's hope. I believe there's a lot that we can do. And I want to appreciate every single person who comes to our events, who donates clothes, who buys our tickets for our shows, who makes donations. It is just amazing. So once again, I say thank you. I thank you so much for your support. I thank you so much for your belief in me and the people of this charity. Keep supporting us. Keep giving whatever you can. Old clothes, used shoes, whatever it is, just don't turn a blind eye. We'll say thank you. You can go to cancercancerafrica.org or cancercancerafrica.com. We organize various events across the UK. We're going to Scotland, and fantastic. We work in Nigeria, and we're also building our work in Kenya. We look forward to seeing you.